This is ASS Breaking News.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
Good evening. I'm ASS News correspondent Brock Jurgensen. Correspondent Asman Bin Licken is currently out sick. The cause of illness? Food poisoning, caused by Dan's Mama's Dish. Now, we have a very special program for you tonight. I'm sitting down here tonight with a Muslim cleric by the name of Farts on Your Face. Mr. Sheikh, thank you so much.
Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Excuse me, young man, it's farts on your face.
Farts on your face. Yes, I got it. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you joining us tonight. We really have a interesting conversation ahead of us because, Mr. Your Face, you have an interesting theory as to why President Biden, who took a spill on his way up the stairs onto Air Force One, you think that there's something afoot here. What is it? What is your theory? Tell us.
First and foremost, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. There is no God but Allah, who we do and grace on his name. Yes, I have a theory that if you look closely, there was some weather manipulation happening with his fall. There was a gust of wind that came out of nowhere and made this strong president fall. Astaghfirullah.
This, first of all, two things. One, strong president. You're suggesting that that president is Joe Biden, correct?
No, Harris. Sorry. No, Biden's a weak man, but you could see the gust of wind that pushed him over.
And this gust
is Harris not your president?
No, well, he is the president, sir. But the Mr. Your Face, you think there's something? You say this gust of wind. What do you think caused that?
Well, there's these group of people. They control the weather machine at the helm of one known Seth Mandel. He has made it rain on my car over and over again.
But sir, what do you think about this Mr. Mandel? I mean, what is it that?
This is the man I see outside my mosque every time it rains on my car. He's the one who makes it rain after I wash. He's wearing his uniform. Not even Shaitan himself can look at this guy in the face.
But sir, this Mandel, what is it about him that makes this whole weather machine? Sir, where are you going with this, Mr. Your Face?
Habibi, do you not get your news from WhatsApp? WhatsApp has the greatest source of news out there, and it will let you know that they control the weather. Astaghfirullah.
This is interesting stuff. We've never heard this before. So you're telling us that this Seth Mandel is in control of the weather machines that caused President Joe Biden to fall down on the stairs on his way up to Air Force One. Is that correct?
Alhamdulillah. Yes, you are finally getting it. You're seeing it. If you allow Allah in your heart, you will see the connection of the dots very clearly. Also, what is your number? Let me get you on WhatsApp. I will share you these stories. Number one place of news is WhatsApp.
I'll give you that number as soon as we go off air, sir. But can I ask really quickly? You talk about this Seth Mandel as if he is an unknown entity, and could you tell us if there are any ties to any foreign groups?
Habibi, have you heard of the Mossad?
I don't need to wait another minute, let alone an hour, to take common sense steps that will save lives in the future.
Do you plan to visit the border? Not today. But I have before, and I'm sure I will again.
Most presidents, ex-presidents like yourself, do not weigh in at this level. Why did you feel like you needed to on this issue?
Well, you called me. I didn't call you, in all fairness.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I did not think that image was still going to be there, but it is.
This is a Mujad on Twitter original. This is like one of the first fucking memes I ever made on Twitter. It was with my very first account. This is probably why he got me banned, by the way. This picture right here. I don't doubt it.
Oh my God. Oh, welcome, Habibis. Get settled in. What's happening? That clip, that meth Sandow. Oh man, I forget.
Well, and now that you're gone, now you can tell us how you really feel being a free man and everything.
Oh, I love Seth. He had nothing to do with my departure, but it's really funny to just like. It's funny to dunk on him, after, just because it's Seth. He gets it.
Right, you would.
So, welcome, Habibis. We are in the brand new Habibi Bros YouTube stream right now. It's probably why you don't see some of the perks you do on the previous streams, is because we switched from my YouTube to this new Habibi Bros YouTube. So, if you sub to the channel, literally just click that button below. You could get us closer to monetization now. Basically, we've made a few changes. For one, Jay can now finally pull up comments on the screen. Jay, do it. You can do it.
Look at this.
Oh my God, look at that.
Look at this. Look. Sir, I'm going to sue you both for libel and slander. Look, I'm doing it. He's not doing anything. Look, that's me. It's all
day.
I could do all this stuff. Look.
It's amazing.
Oh, look at it. Anthony's giving out porn advice.
Look at that. So, it finally happened.
Just like I can pull Dan's mom.
Yeah, Dan told me this is how dumb it actually is. It is literally the dumbest thing ever, and that is
it's so stupid.
Literally,
I don't know what
logging into my account, and that's how he's able to do it. Oh my God. I'm
gonna think your mom's so nice and hard tonight, Dan. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, well, don't fall into the trap that Ass Man Been Looking did. I mean, you did get food poisoning.
I'll try not to. I don't promise anything.
So
probably gonna eat the same dish.
Yeah, no, the same dish. It's a tasty one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Better be. Anyways, Habibis, welcome. I am free, and Jay is currently in exile from Twitter because of Meth Sandel.
Yeah. No, it's Aaron Rupar.
That's right. And what did you say to Aaron Rupar?
So basically, what happened was it was during the whole Atlanta shooting, and the police sheriff or lieutenant or whatever was out having a press conference answering questions from reporters, and he took a snippet out of it for like a 20-second snippet and tried to frame it like the officer was excusing the gunman for just having a bad day and going and shooting. This went on to get like 12 million views, shared by everybody, shared by NBC News, shared by other journalists and everything like that. And then when he gets called out on it, he pretty much told the New York Times reporter or Washington Post reporter, he's like, look, I mean this with the most respect, but you're smearing me and you're misconstruing what I'm trying to say. And I told him, and I just basically told him, Aaron, with nothing but the most disrespect, especially to that whore you call a mother for raising a dog shit liar. All you do is mislead and make sure to misinform the public to fit a certain fucking narrative. That he snitch tagged you into the tweet.
Tagged me.
He DM'd you about it. And
he DM'd me about it after I called him out the next day on something.
Oh, the next day call out is because the CCP used his fucking distortion as propaganda.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was so mad I wasn't on Twitter that day.
It's actually kind of amazing how he managed to get that sort of like he managed to get away with it basically and get you canceled or locked out.
Locked out for right now.
So, anyways,
nothing we haven't been through before, but it's really funny because I haven't been locked out or anything on this account for a while. And if anything, I think I gained 100 new followers because of it too.
Well, what's also interesting is that Rupar tried to hold me accountable for what you say. And in his message to me, he also, and this is actually kind of funny. He said that it was sad to see me become a right-wing troll. And my response to him was, your tweet was bad, but your double down on it was worse. And then because he unfollowed me late last year, I just said, you used to take getting listed pretty well, but ever since I listed you late last year, you unfollowed me, and I can tell based on that it really bothers you. And he said, the reason I unfollowed you is because your people wouldn't stop harassing me, and your partner, obviously referencing to you, said something completely nasty to me. I was like, you're holding me accountable for what other people say. I can't control them. Like, that's unfair and disingenuous. So I told him, you already heard what I have to say about your tweet. Take it or leave it. And that's where we left it. So
did he block you after that?
No. So but it is what it is. And I was trying to be very diplomatic with the guy. I said, I don't wish you any ill will, and I only want the best for you. But this tweet is really bad. It's not good. How you framed it this way, because it is, it doesn't portray things the way they are supposed to be. So
right.
It's sad, but that's just kind of the world we live in now, where people rage tweet or they post whatever they want without, giving it a single thought, or they immediately push a narrative first before getting to like the actual facts. And and then we saw that kind of happen this week, and we were going to lead off with Andrew Cuomo. We actually were originally going to lead off with the Boulder shooting, and then this Andrew Cuomo story happened. But we're going to go right. This is a good segue actually into the Boulder, Colorado shooting. So, everyone obviously doesn't need a huge explainer on what happened. But for those of you who aren't in the know, basically a 21-year-old by the name of, I'm trying to remember his full name, Ahmed Aliwi Al-Issa, was identified by authorities Tuesday as the gunman who opened fire at the King Soopers grocery store in Colorado, killing 10 people, including a Boulder police officer. But according to family members, this is a man who apparently was very paranoid, and I guess he was having, episodes of, and this is just, he was antisocial, he was paranoid. Those are the two things we do know. In addition to that, he is a Syrian immigrant Muslim who immigrated to this country when he was a child. I did see some misinformation from Jack Posobiec tweeting about how he immigrated to the country under Obama's watch, during the Syrian refugee crisis. That's not true. No. And then, of course, like if you remember, basically everything that happened before he was actually identified, there were photos of the actual shooter being apprehended by police. He obviously, to us, the guy looks white, pale skin. He didn't have any shirt or shoes. He had like a pair of shorts on, or maybe boxers. I don't know what it was. And he had blood dripping down his leg. A number of different narratives came through. First of all, was that this is this is basically the cause of white terror, And because it's white terror, all of a sudden, white domestic terrorism, that all white men are basically, responsible for the shootings of literally a few people.
Yeah.
And then his identity was released. And there have been some particularly bad tweets. I, for one, have been inundated with bad tweets, and I'm so far behind on making the list because of how many bad tweets there have been. But for those of you
you also did an emergency special list stream.
I did. So let me pull up just a few of the really bad ones, just so you guys can see exactly how bad they've been. Let me get this up here. Where is it? I think this is it. Okay. This is from Michael Moore. And I don't know if people can read it that well, but it's he says, the life of Ahmed al-Aliwi Alisa shows that people can come from all over the world and truly assimilate into our beloved American culture. And then he posts this picture of the Statue of Liberty. You can see the ratio that was currently going on.
And still going.
Then, of course, him getting listed. Let's see what the replies are. 8,000 replies. Woo! That's a bad one.
That is,
and then you have some other ones. Say that again.
It's fascinating how much. I said it's well deserved because it's really fascinating watching people like Michael just continually showcase how much they really truly hate this country. That's all you can really bring it up to. That's it. That's what it is. They're not trying to make it a better place. They're just trying to be absolute dick faces, and they want to use dead bodies in order to control you. He's one of the perpetrators on that.
And then also we have Amy Siskind, who is no stranger to the list, tweeting out, I don't know why this is so hard for those who's actually, this is an interesting journey. Let's go back, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and find this. And this is something where you look at sort of the progression of Amy Siskind, because I really just was showing you basically the third act. Okay. Yes. This is her first tweet that she says. This is from March 22nd, 9:40 p.m. So this is Monday evening. Okay. She tweets out, the shooter was taken into custody. In other words, it was almost certainly a white man. Again, if you were black or brown, he would be dead. Okay. Now here's the follow-up from the next day. This is from 11:32 a.m. on March 23rd. That's Tuesday. She says, let's mourn the victims, but not glorify the killer with the intention of having his name widely known. Yikes. Okay, so that's Act 1 and Act 2. Let's get to Act 3, okay? Here's what she does in Act 3, and it gets even better because, she literally is one of those people that just shoots herself in the foot, no pun intended, all the time. She tweets out later on the evening of March 23rd, at 7:19 p.m. She says, I don't know why this is so hard for those whose minds are stewing in the trash from Fox News, OAN, and Newsmax, etc. But the shooter's skin is white. That's the whole point. People with white skin get treated differently than people with black and brown skin. Okay. And then she follows up saying, religion and name do not determine skin color. There are Muslims who have black, brown, and white skin. There are people who come here from all around the world whose skin is white. The shooter's skin is white. The point is disparate treatment. Now, let me knock that down there. The point is disparate treatment. And as well as we need common sense gun control to prevent this madness from happening again and again and again, there is no rationale for civilians to need AR-15s, period. Act now, Congress. So there you have it. Doubling, tripling down, whatever you want to call it. Amy Siskind, so close to getting number one until Michael Moore came through like a fucking
he came in with the wrecking ball.
Yeah, and then before we get to more of that, I just want to highlight President Kamala Harris's niece, Mina Harris, tweeting out on the evening of March 22nd, Monday, saying the Atlanta shooting was not even a week ago. Violent white men are the greatest terrorist threat to our country. Okay, then he gets identified as Ahmed al-Aliwi al-Isa. And then she says, Oh, you can't even see that.
Yeah, and then she deleted the previous tweet.
Yeah, hold on. She says, I deleted the previous tweet about the suspect in the Boulder shooting. I made an assumption based on his being taken into custody alive and the fact that the majority of mass shootings in the U.S. are carried out by white men. And then there's the final act right there. So,
and she blocked you.
And scene. So, Jay, when you heard of all this happening, stewing in your exile, what was going through your mind?
Well, the Habibis on the Discord channel kept me well informed. It was fun while this stuff was all unfolding, and I mean fun, very lightly, just being able to interact with people, not being on Twitter and stuff. But that's the whole thing about this. When these things happen, the best thing you can do for yourself is shut the fuck up and allow the stuff to unfold before you want to input your bullshit fucking narrative. And I mean this both in left and right. I mean, if the guy was brown or whatever, and he shot up people on the right would be like, oh, it's, Muslim, whatever, all this kind of stuff. And then
radical Islamic terrorism. Exactly.
All of this type of stuff. They like to jump onto a preferred narrative, but the best thing you can do for yourself is shut the fuck up, allow it to the facts to come into play, so you don't look like a complete dumb fuck jackass, especially like these people you listed, and especially like people like Amy. I think people like Amy and people like Mira and Michael Moore and all these type of people, they get on there as quick as possible to shit on dead bodies in order to push an agenda, to push preferred policies onto people. And now this anti-white sentiment is so prevalent within people, and they think they can use that as a way to enact more control over everyone's lives.
I will say, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that they want to make it seem like anything bad that's happening is because of whiteness, guns, whiteness, whatever, deaths, all this kind of stuff. And it's very, very easy to see their play. Like it's not some, they're not masking it in any way, shape, or form. It's disgusting. They want to demonize white people, and they're going to continue to do it.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, and I've seen people, I've seen the blame go around. I've seen people blame. I've seen, like Joy Reid have a guest on blaming Lauren Boebert for the shooting because she displayed guns over her, over her fireplace.
Right.
Like if Lauren Boebert was out there telling people to go commit mass shootings, then obviously there's something to be said. I think we could critique her on her actual policy, but that display on its own, she called it pornographic, which is really weird to me. But then you have Sean Hannity on the flip side. You have Sean Hannity actually blaming Black Lives Matter protests for the Boulder shooting. And there have been people trying to tie the actual... No, it's so crazy. People have been trying to tie the defund the police motto and BLM and Antifa for the Boulder shooting. And the shit just doesn't make sense to me because, mass shootings take place in spite of whether police presence is there or not. If, people who actually go commit violence, we always, this is a point that Second Amendment advocates always use, is that criminals do not respect the law. So even if you're going to implement all these new gun control legislation, these regulations, these laws, what is to stop a shooter from committing a mass act of violence? What is it? Anything?
Another guy with a gun?
Well, maybe. Doesn't always work. I mean, a police officer in Boulder just got killed from trying to respond to a shooting there. So
it doesn't always work, but
exactly, there's no foolproof solution. But going off on a tangent and saying, "Oh, this is Black Lives Matter. Oh, this is Antifa. Oh, this is defund the police." No, it's not. There are many different causes for different acts of violence. This particular one, we don't know. I did see Kurt Eichenwald, tentacle porn guy, try to make he speculated very early on, saying how that he thought that this was actually a form of anti-mask violence initially. That's what he speculated. It's like this guy wasn't wearing a mask, and Colorado, they have a mask mandate. So, you put two and two together, and all of a sudden, boom, this guy hates people who wears masks and went to a grocery store to kill a bunch of them. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, not in the least. Everybody when they don't understand something, or if something's not fully if the facts are not fully laid out or anything like that, it's very easy for somebody to just pick what they want, implement what they think it is, and then pretend like this is completely how it makes sense. This is what it is. We need to, this is the way it's going to look. And Kurt, look, first and foremost, there's nothing wrong with tentacle porn. It's healthy. I think people should go and see it, be culturalized, and put yourself out there. I think it's good for you guys. But secondly, this guy is a fucking moron. He's such a fucking idiot. And the fact that people still listen to him, they still has a following, even after he fucking melted down the 4 years during Trump, is amazing to me. It's amazing to me any of these people have any kind of fucking following. Like Amy, the fact that she gets 200,000 retweets on her fucking tweets really, really scares me. It's not the fact that she's saying something. It's the fact that these stupid fucking people are actually agreeing with her.
Yeah. I've just seen so many bad takes. It's so hard to weigh what is the worst one. But there's some interesting debate that has been happening. And obviously, our Habibi Zay Jelani, who we hope to get on the program again soon. But he's always been like the voice of reason for a lot of these things. Now, a couple of things I want to highlight here. For one, he was combating against Mina Harris, who is saying that a majority of all shootings are done by white people or white men. Let me see if if I actually have that tweet on hand, just so I can reference it right now.
Well, it's the one that you just
I just want to throw it back up just as a reminder, even though she blocked me. And let's see here. It's like the 4-part series here. God damn it, Mina. In any event, so she basically said, after the shooting, I deleted a previous tweet about the suspect in the Boulder shooting. I made an assumption based on his being taken into custody alive and the fact that the majority of white mass shootings in the U.S. are carried out by white men. There are a couple things here. One, when people thought that he was just taken into custody and that he was unharmed, the guy got fucking shot by police, for one.
Yes.
The blood down his leg was his. And then the whole point about a majority of mass shootings in the U.S. are carried out by white men. This is what Zay Jelani responded to. And I'll just throw up the response. He says, majority of mass shootings in the United States are not carried out by white men. And even if they were, learn about basic statistical fallacies. The fact near zero number of people ever commit a mass shooting or act of terrorism is more important than X percentage of race does shootings. So a couple things. Mass shootings, the actual term mass shooting, has a different definition based on who you like. The FBI, NGOs, they all have different definitions of what a mass shooting is. Some use like 4 people or more shot and killed, or 3 or more people are shot and killed. So that really changes how the conversation about, where we're really heading in terms of trying to find its distinction. But PolitiFact in 2017, they put an article referencing a Newsweek article saying that white men have committed more mass shootings than any other group. They rate it as mostly true. And I just want to highlight the bottom here because this helps at least clarify something for you. Because this, again, it's all about how you look at the statistics. So Newsweek based this claim on data from Mother Jones. Let me zoom in a little here so you guys can see it. Newsweek based this claim on data from Mother Jones, which defines a public mass shooting as an incident in which the motive appeared to be indiscriminate killing and a lone gunman took the lives of at least 3 people. Under this definition, Mother Jones found that non-Hispanic white men have been responsible for 54% of mass shootings since August 1982. Another tally with a longer timeline and a different definition of mass shooting found non-Hispanic white men make up 63% of these attacks. Under both definitions and data sets, white men have committed more mass shootings than any other ethnicity group. But this is the interesting part right here. Newsweek's claim is literally accurate, but it's worth noting the imprecision of this data and the percentage of mass shootings by white men is lower than their share of the male population, according to Mother Jones. So because there are obviously more white people in the United States and more white men as a result than, say, Black or Hispanic men, they, by raw numbers, they do commit more mass shootings. But they are proportionately lower than the population. Whereas for Hispanic men and Black men, they're actually proportionately higher. And I think our boy Zaid, he posted this interesting article here about how even just sensationalized TV coverage of mass shootings actually encourages more mass shootings. So how we cover them is, and this is from January 2019.
It's one that he wrote too.
Yeah, and it's one he wrote too. So there are so many different ways to look at it, and
he's not the only one who holds that sentiment as well. I think Ben Shapiro also multiple times voiced the same kind of.
So here, let me just pull up this. This is from the conversation, and I think this is. I don't think Zay wrote this. No, this is Chris Ferguson from Stetson University. Now, if you look at the race of mass shooters versus general population, the 55% of mass shooters are white, but the U.S. population of white people is 60%. Meanwhile, for Blacks, the mass shooting is 17%, but they only make up 13.4% of the population. And then Hispanic Latino make up 9% of mass shooters, but they make up for 18% of the population. So I got that wrong. So they are. So whites and Hispanics are disproportionately lower. Asians and Blacks are disproportionately higher. So yeah, data is always all over the place. And what we're saying is, while it shouldn't matter what the race is of the shooter and the fact that they just did it, this is a conversation that needs to at least be unpacked. And so when we get Zaid on Habibi Power Hour, we'll ask him about this, and hopefully maybe give us a little bit more insight on this, because it is as this conversation continues and people constantly talk about how we need to white men are the biggest threat, or to the United States, like it helps to sort of examine what actually is the threat. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and it's kind of interesting how we're basically in the middle of a pandemic, and the sign that we're healing is that there are mass shootings taking place. I mean, how fucked up is that?
Very fucked up. Mass shootings taking place, and people using that as an excuse to demonize a group of people or take your rights away while you're in quarantine, while everything's locked down and the world is gone, and the economy's gone to shit, and you're out of a job and all this kind of stuff. It's not the right rhetoric to have. And the fact that journalists and people in the media have time and time again shown us that they are not the right people to be having these conversations. I mean, fucking Don Lemon the other day, who is still considered as a journalist and news anchor on CNN, came out whining and crying about how we need to make sure that we have more gun laws, and that your freedoms basically don't trump people's safety. And this is not the job of a journalist. This is an opinionated person for sure, but he's a great example of how more and more journalists are actually just opinionated activists disguising themselves as journalists to push their agendas. And it's a sad thing to see. I mean, I think these are great examples of why journalism's just gone to shit.
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, I mean, what's we're seeing now this renewed push for gun control laws, as you said, but it really puts a spotlight on the filibuster. And basically, we're now seeing that this issue of gun control is like the perfect cudgel to sort of get rid of the filibuster. But
Yeah.
and there's going to be like an interesting tie-in here, because we've already seen how the filibuster has been tied to white supremacy. You've seen that, right?
Oh, even though they've used it, one of the senators used it 256 times throughout the 4 years of Trump coming out and saying that it's white supremacy.
Yeah.
The use
So
of
they
it
say,
is for white
yeah.
supremacy.
Yeah, so like there's an extra tie in here, because now you can use, specifically by tying every act of gun violence to white supremacy, and then saying that any attempt to block gun control legislation is basically a, ceding territory to white supremacy and letting it stay. So I mean, basically, that's kind of where we're heading, and that's the debate that's going to be had. But President Joe Biden, he went on camera. I mean, he gave a press conference, not press conference. He's about to give a press conference. We're going to get into that in a few minutes. But this is what he said in relation to the Boulder, Colorado shooting.
In terms of what's happened there.
Oh, let's rewind it there. See if that goes. Maybe if it'll load. There we go.
This is the one thing I do know enough to say on in terms of what's happened there. While we're still waiting for more information regarding the shooter, his motive, the weapons he used, the guns, the magazines, the weapons, the modifications that apparently have taken place.
I don't know why his face isn't moving. That's weird.
Well,
those weapons.
This is how he
They're
looks like when he talks
involved here?
too.
What?
All wrinkly. I said, this is how he looks when he's just talking too. It's all wrinkly, and stuff, so nobody's gonna really.
I was just gonna say, Kamala Harris is a great ventriloquist. You can barely see it.
I don't need to wait another minute, let alone an hour, to take common sense steps that will save the lives in the future, and to urge my colleagues in the House and Senate to act. We can ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines in this country once again. I got that done when I was a senator. It passed. It was law for the longest time. And it brought down these mass killings. We should do it again.
Whoa.
We can close the loopholes in our background check system, including the Charleston loophole. That's one of the best tools we have right now to prevent gun violence. The Senate should immediately pass. Let me say it again. The United States Senate, I hope some are listening, should immediately pass the 2 House-passed bills that close loopholes in the background check system. These are bills that receive votes of both Republicans and Democrats in the House. This is not and should not be a partisan issue. This is an American issue. It will save lives, American lives.
I hate
we
it
have
when
to
they
act.
do that. This is an American issue.
We should also ban assault weapons in the
Make sure that they
process.
can take away your rights.
I'll have much more to
It's an
say as we
American
learn
issue.
more. But I wanted to be clear. Those poor folks who died left behind families that leaves a big hole in their hearts.
Shut the fuck up.
And
He's gonna use it.
we can save
I'm
lives.
drinking a little, like
increasing the background checks
quite a
like they're
bit right
supposed
now.
to
But
occur,
it
and
irks me
eliminating
when
assault
they
weapons
use
and the size
this
of
type of
magazines. We
sympathy
don't know all the detail
to try
yet on
and push people to vote in the way
I'll
that
be
they
talking
want
to you more
It's fucking disgusting.
detail yet on that. But I'll be talking to you more later today or in the next couple of days about what else we know. May God
You're
bless
supposed to
you
be talking
all.
to us tomorrow, you piece of shit. In the next couple of days.
God damn it, Jay, you're so angry.
Maybe I'll give you some questions. And then you have journalists like, no, it's okay. You're doing a great job, sir. Yay.
So, So there's obviously a number of things that basically, we're actually seeing right now. Presidential historian Michael Beschloss, he told Axios that FDR and LBJ may turn out to be the past century's closest analogs for the Biden era in terms of transforming the country in more important ways in a short time. Literally about the filibuster. So like you have obviously with FDR, you have Japanese internment. Whoops, I'm sorry, the New Deal. And then with LBJ, and then with LBJ, you have and also with FDR jailing journalists. With LBJ, you have arm twisting and intimidating basically everyone around. Oh, I'm sorry, the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Landmark pieces of legislation. You also, and to LBJ's credit, you also have the Immigration Naturalization Act of 1964. Was that it? But that basically let people like my dad into this country. So, LBJ, you might suck, and you might have handled the Vietnam War fucking terribly, and basically opened up the can of worms to make it look like we were doing something when really we were doing fucking nothing and getting our men and women in uniform killed, all in the name of trying to fight communism. At least you let my dad into the country. You let Baba into the country, and for that, you have my deepest respect.
Alhamdulillah. You probably let my dad in the country too.
Yeah, unfortunately, he let Jay's dad in the country too, so it really evens out.
Right? It's a give and take.
So it would be interesting, obviously, what ends up happening with the filibuster, because there's been so much discussion around it and how, you have people like Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, who aren't obviously going to support abolishing the filibuster. They're going to have to use a bunch of different workaway around what would they call it? They're going to have to circumvent the process somehow. Obviously, Biden is talking about. They're going to change the
Senate rules. They're going to change.
They could. They very well could. They very well could. But are they going to? I don't know. I don't know how that process looks like because it's never happened before. So
it's gonna be everything that they warned Trump would be doing, they're going to do. And they're going to do with a smile on their face and without the outrage from the journalists who are supposed to be holding these fuckers accountable.
Yeah.
And if anything, they're actually pushing for it even more. And the funny thing is, like you were saying, that you had this historian and these academics sitting around talking to Biden and saying, yeah, he talked to us in a way that we're going to be able to rape you guys, the American people, with laws and taking away your freedoms without your consent. That's what we were talking about, and how we're going to be able to do it, and praising him and prompting him up as if he's some fucking savior.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out, but Jay, you really think the government wants to rape me?
Bro, the government does nothing in this world better than raping you and bombing Yemeni school buses.
Don't forget the weddings.
And the weddings.
Yeah, don't forget the weddings. Anyways, we are in the eve of President Joe Biden's first press conference to America. Now, actually, we got a quick snippet of it. I'll show you right here.
It neat, competent leaders getting us back on our feet. The American Rescue Plan, it has almost everything. A year into this mess, recovery unfolds. How many wonders can one rescue plan hold? Reading it over, you'd think, really? No Republicans voted for this thing. It's got direct relief to American families. It's got a path to reopen our schools. Cost of childcare, tax credits, baby. It's like they care. It's a big deal. But wait, there's more. Don't you want to be where the people are? Don't you want to go out dancing, having combos with those, what are they called again? Oh yeah, friends. Some folks thought we could reopen bars, but good strategy is required to reopen safely. And now by May 1st, we can all get the vaccine. Then we can talk, then we can hug our friends and our family and our loved ones. It's exciting to see a shift in ideology, a plan for our world.
Oh man, that is just prime music right there, Habibis. I'm so glad.
That is wonderful.
I'm so glad you could take this journey on along with us.
Yes, thank you. That was beautiful. Just the cringe in her fucking eyes was just, it was so horrifying. And the funny thing is, I shit you not, if my mom never came over here and stayed with me and my brother for like three or 5 months, however long it was, she would probably be sharing this to her on her Facebook. I wouldn't even doubt it. Not even that one. She would be
Well, it's okay.
Tagging all of the Republicans in our family. That's exactly what she would be doing.
I just want to, here we're just going to cleanse everyone's palates right here.
The vaccine, you got the vaccine, they got the vaccine, we got the vaccine. We can get back to normal, let me inform you, let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity, I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. Alright, there is none higher. DMC, I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. That's 90% effective and legit. This COVID thing is real and it will find you. It's killing our people, let me remind you. Back in the days, there was polio, smallpox, back in the days. Measles and mumps, man, back in the days. But because of the vaccines, none of those saved. Vaccines, they work to trigger immunity. 2 shots, we got antibody security. We gotta act now, no need to wait. Get your vaccine before it's too late, for real.
God, such a great song, isn't it, Jay?
Wonderful. It just it
is essentially 100% halal.
100% halal.
Alhamdulillah. Anyways, Biden's first news conference. This is an interesting side-by-side here because I want to just show you this right here. This is what the Washington Post media columnist Margaret Sullivan posts. No, I get it. Reporters and columnists aren't always in charge of the type of they aren't really in charge of the headlines. So
right.
But this is the first headline. We got Biden's first news conference as a test for him, but it's a bigger test for White House reporters. Okay. All right. So, obviously White House reporters, they got to hold him to account, right? That makes sense.
Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be. Absolutely.
Enter Jennifer Rubin saying Biden should fact check the White House press corps.
Oh God, she is so fucking unreal. She is a crazy fucking person. Holy shit. She is.
I just love it. I love it.
She's so crazy. She's fucking insane. She's really insane. Like clinically insane. Like this is not a normal person. She is not supposed to be out.
No. Don't you say that about
in normal. No. She's not supposed to be out in normal day life.
Don't you say that about
driving her cars with other people on the road and going to grocery stores where there's actual people. This is the scariest thing ever to actually know that she walks around in New York. I'm never going to New York.
Don't you ever say another bad word about our queen. There will be no Jen Rubin slander in this Habibi Power Hour. But let's just read from the article for just a minute, shall we? Okay. She says the White House press corps, ginned up by Republican hype, has for weeks hounded White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki and anyone else from the Biden
ginned up by Republican hype
who comes into the briefing room about what is happening at the border. And then she writes in italics, don't we have a crisis at the border? Why won't you call it a crisis? Are Republicans right that we have an open border? Spoiler, no. Thank you, Jen Rubin, for that clarity. As my Post colleague Margaret Sullivan writes, the burgeoning number of migrants, including thousands of children, is a legitimate concern and a valid story. But much of the news media seems to be using it to show they intend to present President Biden in just as critical a light as they often did Trump, regardless of whether that's deserved.
Regardless of whether that's deserved. What is
so
this is giving away the game right here. It's giving it away right here. It's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. What's more, the media storyline has been factually misleading. Also, I just want to highlight this one bit. Zachary Wilson says Siraj Jen Rubin. Now, for those of you who follow or tune into the Twitch streams, you literally can post the Jennifer Rubin emote in which Zach realizes that can't be done on YouTube, in which he says, fuck, YouTube sucks. Anyways.
Okay. I feel like that's something my mom would do.
Yeah. So Connor says, Siraj, your voice isn't shrill and frantic enough to match the tone of her writing. All right, so let's turn that up a notch. In reality, there has been no surge of arrivals outside the normal fluctuation of migration. It's the usual seasonal increase, according to 3 academics who write in the Post-Monkey Cage, using data from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. This is what the facts show. Was that shrill enough for you?
That was shrill enough. And I'm sorry, is the DHS not under the Obama administration? Like, should we not be taking their numbers into account at all? But these post-monkey cage, whatever the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know, man. But let's see if I actually matched that correctly. Because I honestly don't know if I got that right.
Which one? Oh, her voice?
Yeah.
You've made excuses for the lock her up comment. You've pleaded with Ted Cruz, and he's really an honest man.
When did I make excuses for lock her up? What did I exactly say?
Let's see. That would have been on. Let's see if I have the date exactly.
Let me see if I have
it would have been lock her up would have been on. In April and also in August. In October, if you remember, Charles Krauthammer came on and had a very vigorous argument.
Wait a minute. What did I say about in April and August? What exactly did I say?
Right. Well, we can go through all of them.
We can go through all of them.
Which one in particular?
April or August?
Okay. Let's see. In August, let's see. We had comments that you were going to, if somebody is being really dishonest, referring to the press corps, you'd strip them of their credentials as well. It doesn't sound like an independent thing.
That doesn't have anything to do with lock them up. You are ill-prepared for this interview, Ms. Rubin.
No, I'm not. I have a
you are ill-prepared. I've given you a minute where you've hemmed and hawed. You said I justified a comment, lock her up. You can't point to it, and then you pivot to something else.
Yes,
you are ill-prepared for this, and this is the point I want to make.
Bill.
This is the point I want to make. Your column and blog are fraud. We have been tough on Trump here, and I'm going to roll some tape.
No, it's not.
Oh,
you play this little montage for all your guests.
It
shows the 3 things that you said mean about him.
What's so great is that Jennifer Rubin thinks that O'Reilly's playing that montage for all of Bill O'Reilly's guests. She didn't realize that I'm just playing it for all of our guests. Forever and ever. Amen.
For always and ever. It's one thing Bill O'Reilly has contributed to us.
Thank you for that contribution to society.
Thank you, Bill O'Reilly,
giving us that.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
But I mean, go back to that with what Margaret wrote, stating that they want to hold the Biden administration to the same standard they did Trump. It's like, no fucking shit, you dumb fuck. What the fuck do you think it is that you're supposed to be as a journalist? What are they supposed to do? Not hold them at the same standard? They're supposed to hold it back to they're actually giving it away. They are proving all of your suspicions, all of what you thought these journalists were. They've proven it to you right then and there that they're fucking dick shits. Every one of them.
So, Jay, the answer is every journalist who comes from a left-leaning publication needs to ask President Biden, "You're awesome. Please explain." Anything below that, fired. Get them the fuck out of there. I don't want to see that. Okay.
So when you beat up that gust of wind on the stairs going up to your plane for saying that trans women are women.
Okay. Real quick. who do you think is going to ask the stairs question?
Who do I think is going to ask the score?
Yeah.
Well,
do you think it's going to come from a left wing? Do you think it's going to come from a left leaning outlet or a right leaning outlet? I think it might be the New York Post, to be honest with you.
It could be the New York Post.
If the New York Post journalist gets called on, 100% going to be about the stairs. Anthony Rivera.
They're probably going to be there. It's probably going to be like bouncing right back up from your fall.
Could
be.
I don't know. I think it would be. I personally think it's going to be New York Post, but I don't think New York Post is going to get called on. So,
no, it wouldn't. I think Fox will probably get called on twice, and both times they're going to ask about the border.
Well, I might honestly get on Twitch and watch the press conference. So, Habibis, if you're interested in not watching the press conference but watching me watch the press conference, feel free to tune in. Well, I think the press conference is at like 1 or 1:30 p.m. East tomorrow. It's Thursday, of course, if you're watching this on Thursday, like many Habibis who can't stay up late and hang it with us because they're all Islamophobic.
I know. Islam just jamming after 12.
I know, right? I mean, Islam doesn't wake up until afternoon. Okay. We got a couple more stories, but before we do that, I think now's a good time as any to test whether Jay can actually pull up comments, because right now it's earn time. I'll be right back.
Let's get earn. And I can bring up some comments for sure. He's coming, Ben. Inshallah, Daniel, inshallah. Well, yeah, that's how I do a lot of these things. Right before we do it, I just say, fuck it, we'll do it live. Habibti, I miss you guys too, honestly. and especially the next day. God, it really hurt that I wasn't there to dunk on him for being a CCP stooge. Really. Hobby Coughlin, I am doing fantastic. Thank you. How are you guys doing? I'm doing wonderful. And honestly, on the Discord channel is where you guys are going to be finding me right now. Yes. Follow the word of Allah and Atomic Playgirl and sub the channel. Habibis. Hit that sub. Hit that like. Then we'll be able to open up the perks on this channel in no time. Jay, first tweet when you're back on Twitter. Well, I still got like 3 days, so it's going to marinate a little bit. Usually I wait until the day of and then I tweet it. But I'm probably just going to tweet out the screenshot of what got me banned. Drink of the evening. I'm finishing up this Sexton Irish whiskey. Still got half a bottle. Irish whiskey, I usually just sip on more than I do with bourbon. Bourbon just goes straight down.
There he is. Oh, look at that.
No, my apologies. I'm sorry. It's just because I fast read his tag. That's not it is. But I'm sorry, Nate Beebe.
What happened? Jay, what happened?
Oh no, I was I brought Nate Beebe up because it's Bean Dude, and I called him Ben by mistake.
Oh wow. Astaghfirullah.
Astaghfirullah. That is a sexy bottle. It's not bad at all. Sexton.
Jay, are you currently wearing pants?
Yeah, of course I'm wearing pants.
Stand up.
There's no need for me to stand up right now. What are you talking about? Stand up. I'm doing a great this is my Stelter impersonation.
Habibis, sub to our Patreon right now if you want to see Jay stand up. You can't give us any money because there's no super chat.
But if you want to see me in my underwear, you can just go ahead and sub. You bastard. I trusted you. Top 10 anime betrayals right here. Holy fuck.
So Habibis, no super chats this particular episode or until we get monetized because we're on the new channel on Habibi Bros. We set this up literally right before I left the Examiner because we wanted to make sure that we just had an account that was specifically for Habibi Bros, not just me and then Habibi Bros. Just it keeps things confused, and we want to make sure that everything for me and Jay is split 50-50. And when it's just, when I do my own stuff and then Habibi Bros, everything gets confused and like the, percentage is weird. So we just decided to separate it to make things less confusing for us. So YouTube is literally Islamophobic for not monetizing this channel immediately, but you can help us by subscribing to this channel and watching all of our shit. That's how we get closer to you. To
like and share.
Yeah. So,
and for $69, for $69.99 a month, you get a Jay below Jay's table camera every stream.
No, we have a bunch of new ideas that we're actually pretty psyched about. And we'll share them with you as sort of the month turns to April. But we definitely got a lot more new things. Obviously, for those who are subscribing to our Patreon, we do have a new segment called Haram Ball, which is literally Jay waging jihad on some random subject. And so the first episode went out last night. And I think it was really good. I mean, Jay, you're going to get better on camera because it's, you're recording and it's weird. And I went through the motions too very early on when I got into it. But now once you'll get the hang of it. It's going to be good.
No, it will be. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be a segment that we both are going to be doing, one week I'll be doing it, 1 week you'll be doing it. I think it's a fun thing. It's a nice parody off of the typical old boomer yell in your camera type segments.
Yeah. Gretchen says, I'm going to make a tweet pushing people to subscribe to your new channel, but I'm going to use a screenshot of the Seth meme.
Yes. Do it. Make sure to tag him in it, please. And tell him that Jay says hi.
Inshallah. So a couple of interesting other stories that we got. For one, there's actually a really interesting beef going on between Kristi Noem, the governor from South Dakota, and Tucker Carlson. And it all involves this transgender sports bill. I forgot. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this up. So basically, South Dakota's Republican Governor Kristi Noem has clashed with Tucker Carlson after the Fox News anchor challenged her for not signing a bill that would have banned transgender girls and women from taking part in female sports. Noem had previously said that she had been excited to sign the bill prohibiting transgender athletes from competing alongside cisgender females in sports after it passed in the GOP-led state legislature. But she decided not to back House Bill 1217 and sent it back to state lawmakers for the language to be tweaked. Concerned whether it would comply with inclusion rules in collegiate sports, she told Fox News that in its present form, the bill would be open to legal challenges, which expert advice had warned her she would likely lose. Opponents of the bill had said it might lead to groups like the NCAA pulling out of sports tournaments in South Dakota. And then in her interview, Noem said the legislation would allow the NCAA to take punitive action against her state. Here's a quick snippet from it.
Thousands of years of common sense and tradition. Girls play girls sports, boys play boys sports. Why not instead just say, bring it on, NCAA? I'm a national figure. Go ahead and try and exclude us. I will fight you in the court of public opinion and defend principle. Why not just do that?
Tucker, you're preaching my sermon. That's what I did today. Today, I, with Herschel Walker,
You vetoed
Jack
the
Brewer,
bill.
with Nancy Lopez, we all stood together. I did not veto the bill. I did a style-informed revision and asked the legislature to change it so that I can win. Listen, I'm not interested in a participation trophy. I'm not interested in picking a fight that we can't win. I am a problem solver. I come to the table and I don't want to have talking points. And I've been bullied for the last year by liberals, Tucker. I'm not going to let anybody from the NCAA, from any big business, I'm not going to even let conservatives on the right bully me. I'm going to solve the problem. I'm going to make sure that we're building strength in numbers and we're going after the NCAA and make sure that we're keeping only girls playing in girls' sports. I've been doing this for years, and I'm going to solve the problem, not just pick a fight to pick a fight.
Okay, so interestingly enough, after that whole segment, Kristi Noem's spokesperson blasted conservative cancel culture after the backlash she received from it. And this happened earlier today because she received specifically pushback from conservatives for refusing to immediately sign the bill. And basically in the statement, basically her spokesman said, in the past year, Noem was the only governor in the entire nation to never order a single business or church in her state to close. The left bullied her incessantly, but she didn't cave. Tucker Carlson's use of the word cave basically caught on like wildfire. But, you know, this is the statement continues saying, but if any number of conservative pundits are to be believed, that same governor who refused to cave is now caving to the NCAA and Amazon on the issue of fairness in women's sports. What? Apparently, uninformed cancel culture is fine when the right is eating their own. So, Jay, do you think this is an overreaction from Tucker Carlson, or does he actually have a legitimate critique to be made of Kristi Noem?
I think he went about it in a very wrong way. Instead of clarification, he went on to attack. And even though her clarification was actually pretty reasonable and it's something to be heard, he allowed it to fall on deaf ears for him to just keep on calling her like a scaredy cat, a person who doesn't want to fight, and all this kind of stuff, when half of the stuff he was stating wasn't even true. So
yeah, but I also think it's weird that Kristi Noem just like immediately resorted, well, not Kristi Noem, but at least her press person or spokesperson saying, calling this conservative cancel culture. That's not cancel culture. That's certainly not conservative cancel culture.
It isn't. But the thing is, all of these type of people as well who receive any kind of criticism from anywhere is either going to call it, cancel culture, sexism, whatever it can be, to play themselves out to be the victim or to play themselves as people who are standing up for something. So I think both sides are overreacting in one way or another. I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if her press secretary came out, or communications employee or whatever she was, came out and just repeated what Naomi said, Noem. Sorry.
No, she's Naomi now.
She's Naomi now. Sorry,
Naomi
Noem. Naomi Noem. It would have been a bigger win for her in that retrospect, instead of trying to play the victim now of cancel culture that's not even there. You can't claim cancel culture from being criticized or somebody bringing up a criticism on what you're doing, no matter how wrong it is. That's not cancel culture.
Yeah,
cancel culture would be if Tucker came out and started calling her transphobic for trying to put it in the first place and wanted to get her fired or recalled and force her to resign.
Interesting tangent to the story. Governor Noem's new initiative to defend women's sports, that she calls Defend Title IX Now, has also come under fire from athletes and lawmakers for the unauthorized use of images from an Ohio high school sports team. They utilized a photo of a girls' sports team from Hudson, Ohio on the website's homepage, and a website which was created on Sunday. And obviously the website's registered in Ohio. Kind of a shady move right there. Why would you get a high school from Ohio? It's not even in South Dakota.
It's not even your state.
That's a lawsuit.
Also, fuck Ohio. The fuck do you have to lose first fucking round in the fucking bracket. It's my first ever bracket, and they have to lose.
Yeah,
like a little bit. You know what? I picked them because I hate this colleague of mine who's from Michigan. So I was like, you know what? Ohio, they're gonna win it all because fuck you. And now that they lost, I don't hear the fucking end of it. And now I want to just bomb Ohio.
Yeah.
Talk about being radicalized.
Yeah, seriously, what the fuck? 69 minutes in. Cheers, Habibis. That's nice.
That's essentially nice.
That's essentially nice. Okay, real quick. We have two more stories. This is probably one of the weirdest of the two, but this is basically apparently this Friday. Vice President Harris is going to go one-on-one with Bill Clinton to talk about the impact of COVID-19 on women and empowering women and girls in the U.S. and around the world as part of a Clinton Global Initiative event. And I cannot stress how fucking weird that is.
It really is weird. I mean, at the end of it, you never know. She'll probably show him the technique that got her up to the VP slot in the first place.
Yeah,
you know how he. I mean,
it's literally two people.
Or get his cigar smoked.
It's literally two people who have reputations for being sexually promiscuous,
for either
and
for
Bill
oral
Clinton,
sex,
at least
basically.
to the point. For Bill Clinton to the point where it's considered illegal.
For smoking cigars. They're both
smoking cigars. Yeah, smoking cigars. This is definitely something that we should not be. I never thought we'd have this in 2021. Maybe this is an effort to rehabilitate Bill Clinton's image, who, by the way, he was never featured as a speaker during the 2020 Democratic National Convention. He was completely phased out of it. All because in the previous year, all the focus was on Bill Clinton's ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
Right. And now they want to, this is also going to the fact that Democrats who claim they're part of the Me Too movement, who claim that they're part of the Never Again, all this kind of whatever hashtag it is fucking now, are full of shit. They're completely full of shit that they always try to find a way to rehabilitate people like Wiener, like fucking Bill Clinton all the time.
Jay, I just want you to know, Jay, can you rehab my wiener, please?
I will rehab your wiener.
Thank you.
Just make sure to put the same peanut butter you put on for Ern. Make the chunky one, please. I like the chunky peanut butter.
Anyways, we'll see how that shakes out. We'll probably be covering that. Oh, programming though, Habibis. I'm gonna be out all next week, so there won't be any Habibi Power Hour next week. I know,
right.
First time in a long time. We haven't taken a break yet. But I'm basically gonna be traveling to find myself. And no, I'm taking some time off. I'm literally just going on vacation. And honestly, getting a little R&R.
Yeah, so, much needed and much deserved.
Yeah.
Sex.
Yep. So
Atomic J Power Hour.
Yeah, we could literally just do a J Power Hour. I'm not sure what my internet situation will be like, so I'll keep you posted. But if we end up doing anything, it will be an unofficial Habibi Power Hour that we do on Twitch. Does that sound fair?
There's still going to be a hardball next week.
Haram ball.
And haram ball, sorry.
Yeah.
You're looking at me like disgusted. How the fuck dare you say hardball? It's haram ball. It's haram. But yeah, we'll be.
Ernie's going to be staying put. Ernie's going to be staying put just because I don't know what hotel situation is going to be like. But
oh no, Ern on Twitch. That's the only reason why people watch your Twitch.
That's true. That's actually the only reason why they watch them. No, Ernie is going to be kicking it with my in-laws, which is where we are right now. So no change of scenery for Ern. He's just going to basically get some freedom from me. So he's
Inshallah
really happy about that, right, bud? Anyways, Yeah, Janet says she'll babysit her. My in-laws got it. Yeah, in-laws power hour. Right there, in-laws power. Jay and Fuzzy's mom power hour. Speaking of family, this is a really weird story to finish off. And that is Andrew Cuomo's family members were given special access to COVID testing, according to people familiar with the arrangement. This reported in the Washington Post this evening. Starts off by saying that as the coronavirus pandemic swept through New York early last year, Governor Andrew Cuomo's administration arranged for his family members and other well-connected figures to have special access to state-administered coronavirus tests, dispatching a top state director and other state health officials to their homes. And then apparently they did this while there were actually a scarcity of resources, meaning that there were not that many COVID tests around, and the fact that they used them specifically on Andrew Cuomo's family. Jay, is the timing of this sus? Is it really supposed to be about to strengthen and bolster his impeachment case?
No, it's not sus. The more that comes out about this fucking crook piece of fucking garbage, disgusting human filth, dick shit, the better. Doesn't matter when it comes out. Just let it come out and let people hold this guy accountable for it. I mean, we had people like that doctor get fired off of his job and sued for using the COVID vaccines before they got expired. And then you have Cuomo actually bringing his family members across and forward on the line for shit like this. Yeah, he needs to be held accountable. Not some immigrant doctor who is trying to save the last vials of vaccine, and somebody who holds no power. It makes no sense that we're going to have some standard for one person and some standard for and less of a standard for the people that we pay for and actually vote into fucking office. I think if anything, these fucks need to be more scrutinized. And the fact that he is not going to resign tells you everything you need to know about all of these fucks. Cries about Trump are complete fraud, fake garbage. And every time I hear about Cuomo, I feel like I need to spit on Stelter's face.
Oh man, I mean, yeah. Anyways, but Jay, I really want to farts on your face. Before we get to our final segment, real quick, want to give a quick birthday shout out to Daniel Collins, Habibi, an early supporter. Habibi's an early Habibi. Happy birthday to you. I don't know how old you're turning, but it doesn't matter. Happy birthday. And then
happy 23rd birthday, Habibi.
Happy 69th birthday, Daniel Collins. And then finally, we want to wish a happy early birthday, because it's coming up here momentarily, to our other Habibi, Daniel Garmo. Hi, Dan's mom. So happy early birthday to you, Daniel Garmo, but also happy birthday, Daniel Collins. He says he's turning 29. Habibi.
Habibi.
Enjoy that last year of your 20s, 30. Once you turn 30, it's all down there. So,
that's kind of true. That is kind of true.
Yeah. So happy birthday to all the Daniels that are currently watching right now. You're all Habibis in our book, except for you, Dan Garmo. Go fuck yourself. And finally, Habibis, we would like to get to our final segment, and that is Ask Us Anything. So, Habibis, go ahead and ask us away. Ask us questions about ass. Ask us questions about non-ass stuff. Let's just hear it. So,
give it to us, Habibi.
Give it to us. Give it to us the way that Jay gives it to Dan's mom.
All night, every night.
Yep. So, go ahead. Rachel asked a question, says, "What is wrong with you, Faye?" That doesn't seem like a question for us, but we stand by it. Siraj, what the fuck is wrong with the Charlottesville rape sheet obsessed mayor? That's a great question. Let's go pull up that. Holy shit.
That was so weird.
I was going to have an aneurysm earlier. Which, by the way, hold on one second. I just got to give a special shout out to this fucking image right here from Fuzzy. Look at that. Look at him.
That's so perfect.
Just perfect. Absolutely perfect. So as we go
That's
find
the
that
attention to detail too.
I know, right?
With the Red Sox on it and everything.
And Ernie in the background. Let's go find this. I wonder if
his artistry is unmatched. Only matched by Mitch and Cox. They're the Jihad BBs.
So this is what the Charlottesville mayor tweeted. Literally a screenshot from her Instagram. Nakuya Walker. She tweets out, Charlottesville, the beautiful ugly it is. It rapes you, comforts you in its cum-stained sheet, and tells you to keep its secrets. Look at that fucking ratio. And my
excuse me, what the fuck?
Excuse me, what the fuck? And let's look at the replies. Yes, 2.9 thousand. That's pretty bad. And then she doubled down.
That is so weird.
For some reason. What was it? This is what she posted afterwards. And I don't understand what she's trying to say here. She says, "Is this better? I'm asking the person who reported my short poem to Facebook. Charlottesville, the beautiful ugly it is. It lynched you, hung the noose at City Hall and pressed the souvenir that was once your finger against its lips. It covers your death with its good intentions. It is a place where white women with black kids collect signature for a white man who questions whether a black woman understands white supremacy. It is destructively world class. White people say that it is a place where gentrification started with the election of a black woman in 2017, and because of white power, a lie becomes fact. Hashtag facts, I'm sorry. Its daily practice is that of separating you from your soul. Charlottesville is void of a moral compass. It's as if good old TJ is still cleverly behind using his whip to whip the current inhabitants into submissiveness. Charlottesville rapes you of your breaths. It suffocates your hopes and dreams. It liberates you by conveniently redefining liberation. It progressively chants while it conservatively acts. Charlottesville is anchored in white supremacy and rooted in racism. Charlottesville rapes you and covers you in sullied sheets." What the fuck? Why are you the mayor of Charlottesville? Is my question.
That's interesting.
That is the question. That is a poem that anyone who's not the mayor writes.
Right. That's a poem for sure. I mean, that's a really good re-election slogan.
I know,
Mayor
right?
2020 Charlottesville, it rapes you.
Or maybe she was talking about cum as in like Canada, United States, and Mexico. In which case she's actually talking about the trade. She just wants to have balanced trade.
That's what she wants, and on her her blanket is a map of North America.
That poem is about free trade.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I could see it. This is a play to get Virginians back to work through cum.
Come on us.
Come on her.
Come on her. In response to Jay's blue milk video, talking about the haram ball Patreon video. If eating ass is Jay's superpower, what is his weakness? Farts.
That's why we call it farts on your face.
That's a weakness right there.
It is. But in all honesty, that poem, I just love how she asked, "Is this better?" Like, yes, me explaining it further about the rape and the cum sheets. Yes, that makes it much better. You know what would have been, Jay? You know what would have been actually better?
What would have been?
If she posted this image instead.
That would have been absolutely fantastic. Like we would have known exactly what she meant. Exactly what somebody like Seth Mandel and his love for Sabra Hummus has done to people.
Yeah,
we would have known. We would have known exactly where she was coming from.
Yeah, I mean, like if this is if this is honestly, this would redeem herself entirely because Meth Sandel is the root of all evil.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yes, Habibis, keep bringing those questions in. Let us know what's on your mind. Obviously, we talked about the Charlottesville come. Yeah, Connor knows what's up. Come on her. That's right.
Come on her. That was absolutely epic.
One of the best things I've ever seen. Mary. She's the mayor. OMG.
I know.
Maybe we should install Mary as the mayor of Charlottesville. Inshallah. She'd be a just and generous,
righteous spirit. Absolutely.
righteous caliph of. Carl comes in and says, "You guys want to play some video games when you get back from your trip? I'm looking forward to showing everyone that watches your stream how bad I am at COD."
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're down.
100%. Essentially. I ran out of my drink. I'm sorry. Fuzzy said, "I need to know if Jay has taken his time off Twitter to do anything productive. Learn Spanish, wash his Prius, learn to pee standing up."
ليك يا حمار أنا بدي نك أمك ومزبة.
Inshallah. By the way, did you see the whole Cinnamon Toast Crunch story and the shrimp that got caught?
Yeah, the shrimp that fell out.
Yeah, that was funny. But then
I thought it was a dick pic for a second.
But then the milkshake ducking of the guy who posted that art was even better.
Oh no, I didn't catch that part because I'm not on Twitter.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. No, that was kind of wild how that whole thing. It's literally a milkshake duck moment. So
yeah, sometimes those come out of fucking nowhere. It's gonna be amazing. But luckily, everybody knows exactly who the fuck I am. So there's no real milkshake ducking. Aaron Rupar is gonna come out with a report like, "Oh, do you know the guy who called my mother a whore eats ass?" Yeah, no shit, bitch. That's what I did with your mom too. Proud of it.
Topanga's husband apparently is a manipulative asshole to all his ex-girlfriends. Apparently, yeah. But anyways, Atomic Blade Girl says, "Siraj, you should drink more than one Michelob Light during HPH." Well, I would, except I got an early morning ahead of me.
And he's white. There's no way he can drink more than
that. I have the.
He's a fucking Whalers fan.
Wow.
Oh, no. I'm joking. I'm playing Whalers fans. I'm fucking around. It's not because he's a Whalers fan that he's a lightweight. It's because he's an Arsenal fan.
Anthony had a question. I'm looking for it. Where did you ask it, Anthony?
See, if you super chatted.
Is this your question? I, for one, accept the terms of cum. Good. I don't know where the question was. I'm sorry. You can go ahead and ask it again. It's not. Oh, this is the question. Is Topanga still hot? That's a great question. I don't know. Anyways,
you should look for it.
Yeah. Well, let's go find out. Let's do a Google search together. Topanga.
I mean, was she even hot in the first place?
Oh, there we go. This is from 2017, so let's see. Age about 4 years. She probably looks like the guy on the right now.
She probably does.
Yeah, sad.
It is.
They say you start to look more like your partner or your spouse as you get older. So she's basically a guy now. So sorry, guys. Sorry, Habibis. Oh, quick programming note. We do have one premium episode coming up this weekend, and we'll be joined by Julio Rosas, who you all know and love. We're going to be talking a lot about border stuff. So don't hesitate.
He's coming back fresh from the border, giving his uncle some fresh bottled water, some chips. meeting up with his cousins and he's come back to tell us all about it.
So that episode, we hope to make a little bit more evergreen because obviously I'm going to be away next week. And also for all the Habibis, all the Jew Bibis, you're going to be celebrating Passover. Happy Passover to all of you since you're tuning in tonight. Chag Sameach? Is it Chag Sameach? I don't know how to say it. I'm bad.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Chag Simich. God. Anyways, so Habibis, unless you have any other questions for us, I think we're gonna leave it there. Ernie definitely wants to get upstairs and fuck shit up. I need to finish the list. I haven't done that in 2 days. I'm so far behind. Habibis, please kill me. It's literally a fate worse than death. It's actually kind of weird. I'm actually more busy this week than I was last week. So Connor asked Siraj, now that you're free. Oh man, you fucking.
Oh, sorry. That's why you don't give me. That's why you don't give me. That's why you don't give me the.
But I'll respond to Faye. She says, no response to my holiday wishes. It will be 2 weeks until the Habibis all reunite. Yes. I was trying to say happy Passover to all the Habibis and Chag Sameach. I don't know what.
Yes, that's what he was saying. I'm sorry. I fucked it up. I apologize. This is what I do. I'm sorry. This is why you didn't. And also, I changed the password, so you're not going to be able to sign in next time.
Well, thank God. You know. Real shame. Also, happy Easter to all the Habibis who, by the time we get back, it'll be both Passover and Easter will be done. So, I don't know if there's anything else we're missing. Ramadan begins shortly thereafter.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I will not be fasting.
Daniel Collins asked, what will happen first, Siraj to Gitmo or Cuomo to Gitmo? You mean like for me back to Gitmo again? Because that's where I just broke out of. But yes, Cuomo to Gitmo first. Mary says, yes, happy Passover and Easter. Habibi, stay in good health. I know there's no super chat, so we can't highlight any of your comments.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, yeah. But Josh Goldsmith says the password is ass69ass. Quick, Jay.
Ass69.
So, Habibis, we hope you all have a great holiday next week. We might do some Twitch streams unofficially. Ernie, unfortunately, will be up here where I will not be. So, we love you all. Hope you have a good night. And we'll see you on the next episode, which will be our premium episode with Julio, which we are going to be recording tomorrow. And because in the interest of trying to make sure all the Habibis watch it before Passover, I'm going to put it out on Friday night. So Habibis, stay tuned for that. And we love you all. And we'll see you next time on Habibi Power Hour. For Habibi Bros, I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And this is Ern. We're the Habibi Bros. We'll see you guys another night. Peace, Habibis. Love y'all.
Good night. Love you.